Yo, what up, y'all, man? Listen, today I actually want to talk about something that um someone had brought to my attention. So, what if a family member opened up an account in your name without your permission, right? Um, One of the number one questions I have heard from people is, will that family member get in trouble? Right? Will the family member get in trouble? The first thing I want to say is that if a family member opens an account in your name, right? And you did not authorize this. You did not give permission. That information does not belong on your credit report. Alright, excuse my voice, I'm a little under the weather. But that information does not belong on your credit report, right? Now, to answer the question, will that family member get in trouble? If you're just disputing the natural way that we dispute, where you're not like getting a police report, or you're not like trying to press charges, and you're just trying to clear up that information off of your credit report, no, the family member will not get in trouble necessarily. However, it will hurt and damage your credit score, especially if that family member opened up the account and now that family member has defaulted on that account, right? Because once you have that delinquent on your credit report, you're going to take the hit. So it is super important to understand that your credit is going to be affected the most if a family member opens up an account in your name without your permission. And sometimes people tend to say, "Man, I don't want to dispute it, or I don't want to, I want to leave it alone because I don't want that person to get in trouble." That person is not necessarily going to get in trouble, but if you're aware that this person has opened up an account in your name and without your permission, now that account has become delinquent, it is your job to do what you have to do necessary in order to remove that information from your credit report, right? So a lot of times, guys, when we're dealing with family and people we know, a lot of times we can leave our personal information laying around. That's super important for us not to do. A lot of times you may share your personal information. It's super important for us not to do. Because sometimes when we do that, we have these incidents where people are using our information, and then the biggest person that is hurt in that situation is the person credit profile that was actually used, right? So I just want to say, do not be afraid to dispute information in your credit report, simply because you might be thinking that, hey man, my family's gonna get in trouble. Focus on yourself, put yourself first, be very mindful of where you put your information out to, um, and understand that depending on the type of account that they open, how long this account has been in default, how many missed payments, late payments, how many accounts that they have opened, the more damage it is going to do to your credit, right? The more derogatory marks, the more delinquent accounts, the more damage it will do to your credit. And this is why I always tell you guys it's super key for us to check our credit, because sometimes, and I've heard this from multiple people, sometimes people aren't even aware. Like, people aren't even aware that this information is even on their credit. And then maybe when they go to shop for something, they'll realize that, hey, what is this, what is this bank account? Or what is this credit card? I never had this credit card. You know what I mean? So be very mindful, guys, when it comes to your credit. Be very mindful who you share your information with. Make sure you are checking your information, your credit reports, your data as consistently as you can. And do not focus on, whether a family member is going to get in trouble when it comes to the disputing process. Because the disputing process is simply to make sure that you are removing that fraudulent information from your credit report. It doesn't involve any police reports. It doesn't have to involve, any extra things. It just focuses on you getting that negative information removed from your credit report because you did not authorize it. And nothing belongs in your credit report that you did not authorize. Peace out.